Let's have a look at pattern number 4, which sounds like this. Okay, so the very first thing you might have noticed with this pattern, I'm only using 3 fingers: thumb, index and middle. I'm not using the ring finger. Alright, now a lot of fantastic guitar players actually just use these 3 fingers, and you might be saying, well, why did I show you one with 4 fingers in the previous video, well, the previous pattern, and now I'm showing you one with 3 fingers? Well, I actually use both. It really kind of depends on the style and whatever you're playing, so it's good to have both down. One is not necessarily better than the other, and that's just the way it is with guitar. Sometimes we do something a certain way and other times we do it a different way. But now in pattern number 4, I'm going to show you how to use this new right hand fingering. Okay, basically what's happening there, my thumb plays the D string, which is my root note, then index plays the 2nd string, then the thumb goes to the 3rd string, then my middle finger plays the 1st string. So thumb plays 4, index plays 2, thumb plays string 3, index plays string 1. So my string groups would be 4, 2, 3, 1. 4, 2, 3, 1. Alright, and the fingering that I'm using there is thumb, index, thumb, middle. So the little difference with this pattern is the thumb is not just playing one string, it's actually alternating between 2 strings. So let me do that for you one more time. Here we go. 3, 4. Okay, so here it is a little slower. Alright, that's a really nice pattern. It's got a little bit of a different sound, of course, to the previous 3 patterns we've looked at. So let's have a look at using that pattern in a chord progression. It'll sound like this. Okay, so there we go. Once again, the thumb goes to the root note for every chord, but then it also goes to the G string. So for D it was easy because they were right next to each other. When I go to A, I have to skip a string. When I go to E minor, I have to skip 2 strings. Same with G. Alright, so that's a really cool pattern that you can get down, which is the 4th pattern we're looking at now. And you can also change that around to play some alternating bass, but I will show you that in a little bit. When you want to go at the end of this video, I'll show you ways that you can, you know, even change these 7 patterns to actually give you a lot more than 7 patterns. But before we do that, let's have a look at pattern number 5, which sounds like this. Okay, that's almost the same as the previous pattern, except for the very last note. And the reason I don't play the 8th note, if I don't play that 8th note, it just gives my pattern to breathe a little bit more in that very last 8th note where I'm not playing anything. So that'll be exactly the same as pattern 4, except I don't play the 8th note. So my last note is the note on the G string here. If I played pattern 4, it sounds like this. See, it continues the whole time, but when I play pattern 5, I don't play that very last note and it sounds like this. Okay, so a really small change, but it does make a big difference. Let me play that pattern 5 using those 4 lovely chords, D, A, E minor and G. It sounds like this. Alright, so that's pattern number 6. Let's have a look at pattern 7, where we're going to introduce something here, which is we'll be playing 2 notes at the very same time. Right, for all the patterns up to now, it was only 1 note at a time. But in this pattern, there's going to be times where I will be playing more than 1 note at the same time. Right, check it out. Here we go. Okay, so as you can see on beat 2, I've played 2 strings together, which is the G and the E string. Okay, so beat 1 will be the open D, then I play G and E together. One more time. Then I play the B string and the G string. One more time. And really that's the only new things you need to learn. After we've done this, really that's the only new thing you need to learn for this pattern. The rest of the pattern is actually adding the previous pattern to that, which was one more time. So now the 2 halves of this new pattern, the first half would be this, and then I add the second half. Alright, one more time slowly. And here it is a little faster. Right, and as always, let's end the pattern applying it to the actual progression. It sounds like this. Okay, as you can see, that pattern is a little bit more involved than the previous patterns we've looked at, but don't worry if you're getting stuck with it at the moment. Just make sure you download the video and the PDFs and then keep going at these patterns every day, practicing them slowly, and then you will definitely get them down. It's just a matter of repetition. You just need to do the right movements the right amount of times, and then it's not going to be a problem for you.